gathering here today, I would like to hold a meeting to appreciate the Queen. Shana declared, standing up. Appreciate the Queen? Isn't this just a banquet? Heinrich asked. It's a meeting to appreciate the Queen, Shana insisted. Appreciate the Queen when we don't have a Queen, Michael said. This was taking place in the guest room of Shannon's mansion. Around the long table sat Yuri's lovers, excluding Ishtar for some reason. Other individuals were also seated there. These were quite awkward company for the men, causing them considerable tension.
How on earth did he invite them?
Even if we asked Shannon, he won't tell us.
The men were communicating through thoughts. Glenn was sitting with a somewhat pleased expression. Next to him sat Harold with a sullen face.
What's this? How utterly ridiculous.
To think I was called for such a trivial matter.
Harold was muttering.
I only invited Lord Glenn and Lord Ray's,
Shannon said hesitantly.
So how did they get invited? The men were asking this in their hearts. There's absolutely no need to invite Rays. Lord Harold, if you're in a bad mood, you can leave. This is a precious opportunity to appreciate Lady Gerbera, Glenn said. Gerbera, as you all seem to know already, I'll say it, everything about Lady Gerbera is wonderful. Everything is cute. Every word she speaks is adorable. Glenn was speaking with great enthusiasm.
I understand everything the Queen says is cute, isn't it?
It hasn't changed even after decades. She's been cute since the first time we met.
Shannon strongly agreed.
Michael and Fritz thought Lord Glenn is the same type as Shannon Vila Juno and Milford as thought Lord Glenn is head over heels for the Queen, and Carl was deeply impressed by the Queen's magnificence. Please, everyone else, share your opinions too. Shannon encouraged the other men. The men looked around at each other. The Queen, I think her toughness is admirable, Heinrich said.
Yeah, and she's always positive. Even though childbirth was tough, the next day she was already carefully thinking about the next pregnancy, Michael said. I'm very happy that she always calls me her lover, Milford said.
Thanks to the Queen, living has become enjoyable for me, Fritz said. Yes, for me too, Vila added. With the Queen even just staying in the castle, interesting things always happen. It's been fun ever since the Queen arrived, Juno said, and the men nodded in agreement. It's the same for me. The other Lady Gerbera even changed my god's life, Glenn said. Lord Harold, despite what you say, you're also completely smitten with Lady Gerbera, aren't you? Glenn said. Harold frowned and said that's not true, but then corrected himself. Well, I do like her, I suppose. Her reactions are interesting, but that woman doesn't think I'm amazing at all. Even after I've embraced her, she's incredibly nonchalant. I wonder if she completely forgets about it. The next day, Harold said, so like the Queen. The men inwardly retorted, that's what's amazing about the Queen. She's the greatest priestess in history, Shannon said, clenching his fist. Oh, that reminds me. Thank you for performing the ritual for us that time. Michael remembered and expressed his gratitude. Thank you very much, the men said in unison, bowing their heads. Lars was first though, Harold muttered, as the atmosphere grew a bit heavy. Glenn changed the subject. I recently made hand imprints with Lady Gerbera. It's my treasure. I plan to display it on my wall forever. Is that so? The Queen will be pleased, Shannon said. Oh, that reminds me. Didn't Asheron send a hand or foot? Harold suddenly asked. Lord Asheron's foot arrived, Michael answered. I thought so, thanks to that. The museum has lines every day, Fritz said. It must be because Lady Gerbera has such a pure heart that Lord Asheron cooperated, Glenn said. No, he said something about feeling annoyed when she said she didn't want it. Apparently, he overheard something, Harold said. Glenn responded, the way she said it must have been cute. There's nothing cute about saying I don't want it, Harold retorted. She must have been cute for Lord Asheron to cooperate. Glenn insisted. You think so? I'm sure of it. I'm sure that's the case. Shannon agreed with Glenn. Heinrich was nervously thinking, I hope it wasn't that conversation we had that time. By the way, besides rice, what other foods does Lady Gerbera like? Glenn asked the men. She likes seafood since we don't have a sea here. When Lord Harold brought squid and crab, the queen was overjoyed. Michael said because of that, crabs have been offered at the temple ever since. Harold added, the men couldn't help but imagine crabs being offered at the temple. Lady Gerbera must have been cute when she was happy about the crab, Glenn said. The men wondered whether Glenn was imagining Yuri or Gerbera. It's cute how innocently happy she gets over just one food item, isn't it? Shannon said. There's no one else as innocent as her, Glenn added. Michael and the others, who knew that Yuri wasn't just innocent, remained silent. There was no need to say anything in front of Glenn. The meeting to appreciate the queen came to an end. How foolish I'm leaving, Harold said as he stood up, and the men stood and bowed their heads. Thank you for today. The men expressed their gratitude and saw Harold off.